Okay, well, it's a good number of attendees. So welcome everyone to the 100 Property Club 2021 AGM, once again on Zoom. Whilst pulling together this presentation, I took a look at Nicola's 2020 AGM pictures, and she had some wonderful pictures of all the events in the sunshine, everyone gathered together. Sorry, Sarah, you've got control if you can click forward for me. And I thought, right, I need to do the same for this year for us as well. So this is what I managed to pull together. Not the same sort of photos. Sarah, you need to click on, please. Thank you. A very strange year for all of us. But if you move on again, Sarah, hopefully July the 19th will restore some sort of normality to the club and for networking in general. We'll follow the usual agenda with each of the committee members giving a short update on their section of the club. Please remember though, there is a question box at the bottom of your screen which you should be able to access, so feel free to ask any questions, and Nicola's going to kindly pull any that we get in together at the end and we'll go through them. Just to remind you also, this webinar is being recorded, so we'll circulate it to the membership later for anyone who isn't here. So firstly, a bit of club housekeeping. Apologies, I've received 3 or 4 individual apologies, so that means there must be at least 100 plus members in attendance on this webinar, which is great. I circulated in advance a copy of the 2020 minutes for approval, and I received that in advance of this meeting. If anyone has any comments or objections, please do enter them into the questions section now or let us know later. I also circulated a list of the proposed committee positions, and I've had no objections to those. So if you can click forward, Sarah, the committee remains fairly unchanged with myself as chair, Nicola Forget as treasurer, Richard Daltrey in charge of all things Christmas, Alex Lewis and Joe Farr running the sports and social side, Matt Brown picking up tours and talks, Mark Eshelby doing the charity and the golf side of things, and you'll see lots of emails and web communications from Sarah Chapman in charge of communications, and Tom Jansen picking up the membership side of things and also all the recent updates to the website that you'll have seen in terms of the you'll be getting contact with him regarding the membership section on the website. Hopefully they'll pick up on that later on. At this point, it's usual for the chair to thank their committee, but firstly I want to thank the membership. I think 2020 to 2021 has obviously been a very difficult year for the club, with networking understandably taking a back seat. And despite the club being on the back foot, we have increased the membership and even improved our subs collection. Thank you. Without the membership, obviously, there is clearly no club. Turning to my committee, everyone has been very busy beavering away behind the scenes, keeping things going. When Boris has said, let's get back to normal, we've organised lots of events. And then next week, Boris has said, enter lockdown, we've cancelled lots of events. Up, down, but hopefully in July and past the 19th, we'll bring a more finite end to this uncertainty. I'd like to thank all of their committee for their hard work and support during this difficult time, and guaranteed the next committee meeting will hopefully be in a pub and not on Zoom. We had planned the usual 20 or so events looking back at the last year. However, unfortunately, everything, including Christmas, as we all know, was cancelled. Only Mark, with some of his golf days, was able to keep things going. But despite all of this, the club has managed to refund all tickets and meet all of its obligations, which is in no part down to the diligent management of the accounts by Nicola. The best thing to do in these circumstances, I always think, is to look forward. Despite the uncertainty, we've maintained a full diary of events for the remainder of the year. We have dates set for sailing, a walking tour, lunch, golf, and of course the Christmas dinner. I won't go into too much detail and steal the individual's thunder, but it's fair to say with the support of John Hickman, we have managed to secure an excellent speaker for this year's Christmas dinner. Looking further ahead, 2022 is the 50th anniversary of the club. and we'd like to make this a really special year in the club's history, culminating a ball for Christmas with hopefully an exciting new venue. In order to start the celebrations, we had a look back at the roots of the club, and in consultation with some of the first members, the committee would like to recognise Jeff Davis's contribution in establishing the club 50 years ago in a pub in Farnham by awarding him with the one-off title of Chairman Emeritus. In addition to pulling together the principles that have stood the club in such good stead, Jeff also contributed over 20 years on committee in a number of roles, including chairman. Ideally, you'll understand we wanted to present this award at the RAF Club and the AGM, but there will be a more formal presentation to Jeff and a presentation at the next club lunch when members will hopefully be present. Thank you, Jeff. I'll now hand over to the various members of the committee to run through their sections of the report, starting with Nicola as Treasurer. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Good afternoon, members. I took on the Treasury role a year ago with the club in very good shape, all systems and online banking set in place and working well. I'm pleased to report a steady year, a few non-payment of subs. While I appreciate that very few events took place last year, admin costs still need to be paid. And on that subject, thank you to those who have already paid their subs for this year, and I would urge the rest of the members to make payment soon. If you need an invoice, then do let me know and I will issue one. Events that have been organised and subsequently cancelled, I hope I've contacted all of you who've made payments and either refunded or kept the funds in agreement for the rearranged event. We still have funds in the account for the grazing goat lunch. We seem to have been talking about it for years. The deposit on this event was paid some time ago and it's now booked for this October. We had a smaller surplus at year end of £5,429. As you know, the club isn't required to submit accounts with Companies House, so again, we've not had to spend money on accountants this year. Unfortunately, there are zero committee costs. I'm very sad to say, but we will try and do better next year. Annual costs for insurance is £627, and thank you to Burns Brett for organising these for us. Web costs this year, or this recent year, £1,404 due to website alterations, online payment setup costs and hosting. The current account balance at year end, prior to any 2021-22 subscriptions, is a healthy £25,741. This does include over £7,000 of tickets already sold for the December dinner. It's a good sum in the bank, bearing in mind the advance payments we will have to make for the December dinner, generally before the bulk of the tickets are sold. Post year end, we had a few more payments for the Mitre Hotel event and a few subs being paid totaling £320. And at the risk of sounding like a broken record, I look forward to the remainder of these subs being paid. Please can I have a show of hands for approval of the accounts? Committee? Thank you very much, guys. If anyone's got any questions on this, please do let me know. And I will now pass over to Tom Janssens.
Thank you, and good afternoon, everyone. So membership numbers have remained pretty stable over the last 12 months, which is a positive, taking into account the disruption we've had. As you can see, we've had a few members leave, but we've also had a few new members join as well, which is a great thing. So as you can see, the number of members is 97, members in waiting 46, and currently 2 retired members. There are a couple of changes happening with regards to membership at the moment, which should be good to discuss in this AGM. First of all is the storing of members' details, contact details, which we're now storing on a database called Membership Works. So as part of this, I've called every member at the club, spoken to a lot of you, just to confirm from a GDPR point of view that you're okay with this and us storing the details somewhere else. And we're also now displaying all company details on the website in the members section. And the second big update really is that from the autumn onwards, after the sailing, we're going to start taking payment for events through the website online. So all members will be given a username and a password, and they'll go onto the website, go onto the events section, click register for the event, put the username in, put the password in, and then pay through the website. This will make the process a lot easier for members and make it a lot easier for the committee as well. So those of you which I haven't spoken to yet will receive a call from me over the next couple of weeks, and I'll then send you over your login details. But other than that, that's all from me. So hopefully more events the next 12 months, hopefully more members joining, and I'll pass over to Richard.
Hello, everyone. Well, I think we've got good news. So according to the Intercontinental Hotel, we have our date of the 7th of December has all been confirmed. The hotel is up and running and looking forward to seeing us for our Christmas dinner. So hopefully many of you, in fact, I've already seen that many of you have already applied to book tickets. And obviously Nick has just confirmed that over £7,000 worth has already been paid for. So it looks like we're on for a good event. If for some reason the event is going to be cancelled, then obviously your money will be refunded at that time. But so far everything looks good. And also just want to say a quick thank you again, and Tim's already done this, to John Hickman for organising our amazing speaker, Mr. Steve Coogan. And you can see there a photo of him on the right hand side as well, looking glorious from his film Greed, which has nothing to do with Sir Philip Green whatsoever, apparently. Part of the Christmas dinner will mean that we are going to sponsor Mr. Coogan's charity, which is called the Lighthouse Project. If you want to have a look at that online, please do so. Very worthwhile cause. I won't mention too much of it now, because I think Tim's going to talk about it on the charities page coming up next. But delighted to be able to sort of support that charity as well. Also, I'd like to say thank you to some main sponsors who've come forward as well. So Orion Group, Mackay Securities and Adair have all agreed to sponsor the event in some way, which is a really great place to be in. And you know, it's difficult in these times to sponsor anything. So to have three well-known members coming forward and doing that is a delight for the club. So thank you very much to those three organisations as well. And I think, you know, we'll as I mentioned before, there's other, you know, not sponsorship, but other parts that the rest of the members can play as well. So if you wanted to take a page of advertising within Christmas brochure at the time, or you wish to talk about some other way of sponsoring them, please do get in touch and we can have a chat about that. Delighted to see already that we've got a lot of ticket sales, so tickets booked. We've got over 110 booked tickets already, which is far supersedes where we were this time in 2019 when we were doing the Christmas dinner. We tend to have the majority of our bookings in September, so that's great news. But if you are going to be booking, I'll be sending out another flyer within the next week, reminding members to book their seats. So please respond to that, and I'll get you sorted out for the table. Obviously, table locations are on a first come first served basis, so please do bear that in mind. The final point to talk about is just about auction lots. Thank you to those who've already volunteered auction lots. Apologies to those who I press ganged into offering auction lots, but it's very generous of you. I think typically we would have previously gone through the Lord Taverners for auction lots, but it appears that we have enough generous members putting themselves forward to do auction lots, which is a good thing, because actually obviously with the Lord Taverners we would often have to put a reserve price on it, but this way we don't, and so actually we can make a lot more money for charity. If there is anybody out there who wishes to donate an auction lot as well, that'd be really, really kind of you, so please do get in touch, and I would love to speak to you about that. But anyway, to sum up, I think we're on for a cracking event, and it looks like we're going to have a lot of attendees there as well, and a great speaker for a great night. So fingers crossed that can all proceed without the pandemic ruining it. If anybody's got any questions they want to ask me either by chat or offline, then please do so, and I'd love to have a chat with you. And if not, have a wonderful afternoon, and I will pass you on to, is it Alex next? Oh, it's Tim, isn't it? Sorry, forgive me.
Me covering for Mark Eshelby, who sends his apologies, moving house at the moment. The year's obviously been very difficult in terms of bus handovers with the Lord Taverners. The minibus that we contributed to previously has actually been delivered and is being used. However, the handover and hence the note to the club has not gone out, as it's been delayed a number of times due to the COVID restrictions. As Richard said, we've agreed to support the Lighthouse project with Steve Coogan. Steve is, I don't think I'm breaking any trusts in saying, contributing all of what he would be paid to the charity for the evening, which is incredibly generous. And as part of that, we've agreed to support the Lighthouse project as well with the donations and charity auction on the evening. As Richard said, the Lighthouse project is a community hub-based charity for disadvantaged families, and do feel free to have a look at their website, learn a little bit more about them, but a very worthwhile cause. To reiterate as well, Richard touched on the auction, which he runs in conjunction with Mark. We're raising lots at the moment. If anyone does have anything that they can think that they would kindly generously donate as an auction lot, then please do raise your hand. If we can do auction lots through the club, it means every penny goes to the charity rather than through Lord Taverners or through another auction type firm where there's often a base cost and things. So it really is great when we can give everything straight over to the charity. Finally, you'll have seen that there's quite a balance in the current account for the club at the moment, which is partly because we're obviously leading up and there's lots of money in there from all those tickets we've sold to the Christmas dinner and things, which is great. But we are hopeful that we'll be able to make another charitable donation from that surplus as we did a couple of years ago. But just being prudent with COVID and everything at the moment, we'll probably address that next year. So I think that covers all of Mark's charity section. I think pass over now to Alex to cover the sports and social.
Thanks, Tim. Afternoon, everyone. It's been a difficult year, as you can all imagine, on the sports and social side. We did, however, have a very well-attended event at the Mitre in Hampton Court that was a sellout, which was great fun. Unfortunately, we had to cancel the cricket when the government guidelines changed. Again, we had a lot of interest in that, and ticket sales was very good. Dates for the diary moving forward. There's a sailing day on the 20th of September that will be going to the George on the Isle of Wight in Yarmouth. Please contact either Nicola or Jeremy Needs for any further information. Always a great day out. Another golf day date for the diary, Friday the 24th of September. And then, as Tim has mentioned previously, we do have a lunch in the diary, Wednesday the 13th of October. So yeah, please make sure that's all in the diaries and contact me. We are now charging online, as the guys have said. So yeah, please book a space for that. The only other thing I was going to add as well, guys, any suggestions or ideas for any events, please let either myself or Joe know. All ideas welcome. Thanks, Sarah. Matt unfortunately can't attend and does send his apologies. Again, another date for the diary, 16th of September. Clwyd Roberts has kindly offered to do a tour around the city. He's a former head of development at BAM. Now, there's going to be a limit on numbers, unfortunately. So there's only 15 spaces. So yeah, please get in contact for more details if you're interested in attending. We will be sort of going for some drinks afterwards. So if people can't actually attend the tour, more than welcome to come and join us afterwards as well. And again, I think Matt wanted me to ask anybody else who's got any ideas of tours or sort of interesting buildings that we can attend. Please let Matt know. And I think, yeah, just the final slide from me is basically these are the dates for the diaries. So yeah, please get booking online and make sure these are all in the diary.
Thank you very much indeed, Alex. I think you're passing on to me now. Good afternoon, members, and welcome everyone back to the AGM. As we return to perhaps normal life, whatever normal is, we're beginning more marketing and communications activity with all of you. And we've begun to email you a little bit more frequently with club news, as we can't meet you in person. This is a great vehicle for sharing and communicating activities within the club. It also creates a bit more brand awareness around the club. Hopefully you're all receiving these in your inboxes, but if you have any problems, can you let me know? The first communication really that went out was sadly in memory of Maurice Dugan, who sadly passed away this year, and we had 46 people open this particular communication. So in terms of the club numbers, that's a 48% open rate. Normally this would be a very high open rate for normal marketing communications, but I'm a little bit concerned around this 52% of you that perhaps haven't opened them. So if anyone hasn't received this or isn't receiving these, could you just let me know? It may have gone into your junk mail, and we might be able to help you in terms of how to get those out of your junk mail and into your inboxes. We also sent out a correspondence on the annual general meeting invitation with click-through boxes for you to vote in terms of when you would like to come and to access the payment portal. And obviously a notification around today's annual general meeting and changes, which we've talked about enough, I think. So a little bit more work we've been doing is on the events on the website. Now that we are beginning to perhaps, dare we plan perhaps for the rest of this year, we have updated the events on the website, and this is ongoing activity as things change. So please keep your eyes peeled on the website events page. And we've also begun writing some articles and posting on social media. So if any of you are on LinkedIn, please like and share or tweet. We've also updated the Membership Works members list. This was perhaps a little bit out of date, so we thought it might be a useful time to use this quiet period to update the members list. So all members should be on the website now with the correct branding, logos and contact details. Again, please contact me if anything isn't quite as it should be. And finally, just a little social media post that we put out after Alex arranged the fantastic event at the Mitre Hotel. And we did a little video on LinkedIn, which again, if you're on LinkedIn, please share and like, and this builds awareness around the club with your connections on LinkedIn, and we can do more of these things going forward. Currently, we're doing a website review, which we're feeding into Tim Baker and Nicola Forget with a view to what we would like to do with the website. Has been quite a long time since the website was really addressed in terms of improvements, layout, and some of the photography on there is still quite old. So watch this space for see what Tim and Nicola say about our comments on that. That's it from me.
Thank you, Sarah. So that concludes the sort of run through of a very quiet year, and hopefully a little look forward into a busier end to the year for the club, with a return to networking, and hopefully it sounds like, you know, Richard has really put a lot of effort in with help from members of the club to put together what's going to be an excellent Christmas dinner as well. So thank you to everyone here today for your support, and to the rest of the membership as well. As Nicola said, getting those subs in, there is still administrative costs, even though we haven't been running events this year, is exceptionally helpful and makes our life a lot easier. Finally, good luck to England. I'm sure everyone will be booking an unofficial bank holiday on Monday to recover. But we're all looking forward to a fun weekend. I'm going to just ask Nicola, so lastly, any questions really, and any AOB? I asked, has anyone fired any questions into us, Nicola?
No questions. But I do have one item of any other business. Given the climate over the last year and the lack of events and sort of networking and gathering opportunities, so your first year as chairman has been relatively subdued and quiet, I propose that you take a third year as chairman at the end of your term. because my second year as chairman was so much fun and so much better than the first. So I just think you should have 2 really good years following this one.
Oh, here.
Good. Okay.
Clearly, Nicola has discussed that with me prior, and I am more than happy to, like many of us, probably write off 2020 and kick on again from here. So no, thank you, and I'm very happy to take that on.
Good. Thank you.
One last chance for any other questions. Otherwise, thank you everybody for your time. Thank you to the committee for all your hard work. And we very much hope to see you for the 3 events we have in September and a busy last quarter. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Thank you.